I don't care if it's a week, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? LeBron James. That's who y'all got to start appreciating. And you got to stop disrespecting this man. You got A.J. Brown, who's a legit number one, and you got Julio, who's another legit number one. One of them dudes got to get double teamed. Who gonna get double teamed? And whoever gets double teamed, the other one gets the ball. I'm saying this with no pun intended, with full of pride.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Prideful podcast. As always, it's your boy Pride. Today I'm rolling solo dolo. Just me here by myself. We got a lot to talk about today. First and foremost, Antonio Brown. It's been rumored around out there that Antonio Brown has obtained a fake vaccination card. Antonio Brown, if this is true, I don't know whether or not it is. I'm going to be nice and say it's not. I'm going to be nice. But if this is true, Antonio Brown, at some point, we're going to have to give up on him. That's how it is. We're going to have to give up on him on this guy at some point. Look, Pittsburgh, nothing but trouble, right? Then they said, okay. And not to say that, I don't want to say that he was like a locker room cancer or anything like that. I don't want to, I'm not going that far, right? But he's been acting a fool for a while, right? Goes from Pittsburgh, right? Does the whole thing. Mind you, was a very, very messy exit. Leaves. Goes to the Raiders. Makes a whole stink about the helmets. When the helmets were being, this is something that was new. This was something that's being talked about for a while now. And I believe he was one of the people, along with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, to get exempted from it for that season. At the end of that, I believe it was 2 years ago, at the end of that season, they had to switch, whether they liked it or not. They were going to switch. Then he goes to New England at Tom Brady's request, might I add. Tom stuck his neck out for him. Was like, you know what? Give me AB. We can make it work. Every step of the way, Antonio Brown has somehow found a way to put himself in positions he shouldn't be in. Look, AB, the fact that AB can be the fact that he can be told this and people actually believe it shows how down bad AB is. Now, to his credit, he is denying it. His camp is denying the fact that that's not true. However, there is, and this is not a joke. There is a screenshot that, if I'm reading this correctly, a former living a chef that lived with Antonio Brown, Steven Ruiz, had a screenshot between Ruiz and Antonio Brown's girlfriend, Sydney Morneau, and it supposedly shows that AB was willing to pay $500 for a Johnson & Johnson vaccination card. And this is a direct excerpt because it was in the Tampa Bay Times. This is the direct excerpt of the report. Quote, Ruiz said he was unable back in July to find a fake vaccination card for Brown, who told those around him that he was worried about the vaccine's potential negative effects on his body. A few weeks later, however, Ruiz said Brown showed him fake vaccination cards, which the wide receiver told Ruiz he had purchased for himself and Morneau. They were sitting on Brown's dining room table, Ruiz said. It was just days before the start of Bucs training camp. Now, we also need to be fair here, because for all we know, this could all be a lie. It is potential. We do need to shed some light on Steven Ruiz. Steven Ruiz believes that AB owes him, quote, $10,000. And he supposedly had contact with the wide receiver's attorney, as well as a media broker known for breaking stories to tabloids like TMZ and the National Enquirer. These are I'm quoting him. That was a quote. Now, obviously, you know, AB said it's not true. Tampa Bay was like, hey, look, we checked it out. We looked into it, you know. But again, it's a shame because Antonio Brown is not putting himself in a position where, yet again, regardless if he's innocent or not, he's putting himself in a position where people can just speculate. And once you put yourself in that position, you already lost. You already lost once you put yourself in that position where people can just speculate and say, well, I mean, this does kind of sound like Antonio Brown. Because again, beef with Antonio Brown, we all know he loves looking for trouble. That whole domestic violence thing that he had going on, guess what? He reached out to Shorty. Tell me that's not looking for trouble. Like, and that's kind of this whole situation with him. And again, whether or not it's true, I don't know. I don't. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to pretend. But again, the mere fact that Antonio Brown is willing to put himself in these situations where something like this could potentially happen, it's a shame. That's the best way I can describe it. Obviously, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers said, "Hey, look, we look into it. We holler at people. We say, hey, yo, let us see your thing, your card, your vaccination card. Let's see how it is." And again, this is just another distraction from Antonio Brown coming in at, frankly, the wrong time. Now, is it true? I'll be honest with you, we probably won't know. We won't. But it is a shame that, like I said, Antonio Brown is now in the best situation he's been. He just won a Super Bowl. People are saying he looks back like the Antonio Brown of old while also being the third receiver, and at times even the fourth, because there are times where Gronk gets more touches than him, and Gronk is spotlighted more. At some point, AB, you gotta stop putting yourself in this position. You really do. You really do. But we're gonna keep it to the NFL. Week 11 is here. Love it. Let's want to put this up. So here are the games going on for Week 11. Now, obviously, Patriots handled their business. They blanked the Falcons. Sunday, Saints at Eagles. The Jets will host the Dolphins. Washington travels to North Carolina to face the Panthers. Colts visit Buffalo. The Browns host the winless Lions. And by the way, these are all the 1 o'clock games. I'm going to start with those. The 4 or 5 49ers visit Jacksonville to play the Jags. Titans host the 1-8 Texans. The Vikings will be the home team against the Packers. And the final 1 o'clock game will be the Bears hosting the Ravens. So, quick breakdown on how I think it's going to end up going. So, in terms of the Saints, they just said Alvin Kamara is not going to be in. He's not playing. He's officially been ruled out. With the whole controversy happening at the quarterback position, I don't see it. I don't think the Saints have it in them. On contrary to the Eagles, like I said, I'm a fan of Jalen Hurts. I like him. I think the offense is starting to click a little bit. Coming off the win from last week, I think they go in, handle the business. I got Eagles over Saints. For Dolphins and Jets, obviously the Jets are the Jets. They're, excuse my French, dog shit, so it doesn't even matter. I got the Dolphins winning. I think what the Dolphins did last week against the Ravens, this is me. I think that was a sign of things to come. I think this defense is going to get back on track. Obviously when it gets back on track, Tua Tagovailoa will obviously step on the field and immediately will be blamed for losing the game before the coin toss. Free Tua. But I do have the Dolphins in that game. Next, the Panthers are starting Cam Newton. They're giving Cam Newton the official start to play against the Washington football team. And here's the $1 million question. What Cam are we getting? A lot of people were excited. They were ecstatic. They were blown away, and they were happy based on the performance that he had given them. Granted, it wasn't much, but sometimes that's all you really need. You just need Cam to, be super Cam. So in terms of me, I'm going to go with the Panthers. I think right now where the Washington football team is, they're just really not in a good place. They lost what it do, Rio? Appreciate you swinging by first and foremost. And yeah, bro. Look, the Panthers, they handling it. Look, I think they're gonna win. I really do. I like them. I like where they're going. And against a Chase Young for Washington, torn ACL, so he's out. He's out. So I just don't see them going. It is going to be interesting. It's going to be Ron Rivera playing against his old quarterback Cam Newton. Will he, because Ron Rivera knows him, maybe he can stifle him, but I'm going to go with the Panthers to get the win. In terms of Colts and Bills, yes, Rio, the Washington football team, they're beat up. They're extremely beat up, and they're very vulnerable. And at the end of the day, I think that's really what's going to happen. I understand the Jets lost Sam Darnold, but not a lot of people are really high on him. And when you have Cam right now, the emotions are going high, especially after a win. Their emotions right now are all-time high. So they're going to be playing with a purpose. Colts and Bills, look, I'm a Patriots fan, right? So I'm hoping the Bills lose. I'm hoping so we can get first place in the division. However, I don't think they will. Josh Allen, definitely MVP contender. Offense, Bills got the better offense. They also got the better defense. Again, this really isn't really a knock on the Colts. It's just the fact that right now Buffalo is just better right now. However, that's not to say it's going to be a wash. I do want to make that clear. I don't think this is going to be a wash. I think it'll be, it'll probably Bill should win pretty. Yes, I think 10 points. I think it'll be they'll win. I think Buffalo will win by 10. Enough where you can say, what, the Colts hung in there. They did their thing, but at the end of the day, we know who's the better team. We know who's better. There's just no debate. There's no question marks. None of that. We know who's better. And of course, it's going to be the Colts. Now, originally for this game, I had the Browns beating the Lions. I really had that. I had them beating the Lions. I did a little bit of thinking. I'm going out on a limb. I'm changing my mind. This is the first time this season that I've changed my mind. Once I picked a team, I stuck by it no matter what. I changed my mind. I'm going with the Lions over Browns. I'm rolling with it. And I listen, man, I like Dan Campbell. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a solid coach. If you watch the game plans he tries to implement, they're not bad game plans. They're not stupid game plans. They're not. It's just unfortunately for him, he just doesn't have the personnel. He doesn't have it. We can't blame him. And yes, do I think Goff gets too much criticism? Yes. And Rio, me and you were in the same boat. Now, I'm not. Let me just clarify this. I'm not going to sit here and say that Jared Goff is a phenomenal quarterback and he's a top 5 guy. I'm not going to say that. But at the same time, I don't know what other quarterback you can put in that same situation and expect them to be tearing up the field. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. Like again, Matthew Stafford couldn't get the wins. If you put Tom Brady here, I don't know if Tom Brady will be able to do it. I don't know about Aaron Rodgers, Kyler Murray, Josh Allen. It's like right now, if we're going to be honest, I don't want to be that guy, but It's dog shit. I don't want to be mean, but at the same time, why do we got to keep blaming Jared Goff? It's not, you know what I mean? Again, there are some times where he's making knuckleheaded plays. I'm not going to lie about that. But to say it's all on him, I asked the question, and no one really likes answering this question. What quarterback would Ja put in there that would give this team success? And when you ask that question, the question, all of, like, you know, the whole conversation, it's not fun anymore. And that's kind of where I am with both Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff is a solid quarterback. I just think he's a guy who, you know, he kind of needs. I put him in the same class I put Baker Mayfield. Right? They're solid, but you know they're not gonna. They're not. They'll probably carry you for a game, but they're not going to carry you for a season. Like, you need that one game, sure, maybe they'll give it to you, but you should probably try to have. You well, not probably should. You definitely should have talent around them and make sure they fit in perfectly. They're not a guy like a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers who you can just plug in and they play and they're good. That's not who he is. That's not. And that's kind of my opinion on it. But I think the Lions get it done. I get it, it's in Cleveland. I get it. But I want to be able to say this. You know, I'm choosing the Lions for the rest of the year. I don't care who they play. I'm choosing the Lions because I want to be able to say I was right, the Lions won. I want to be able to say that. Because like I said, this Lions team, are they bad? Yes, they are. But I'll be honest, and I don't think they're worse than the 0-16 Browns. I don't think they're worse. That's just me. But I'm gonna go with the Lions. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are both at this point in time still not going to play. So it's going to be more along the lines of let's put Baker in and carry us to the promised land. Their defense has been struggling. Let's see what happens and how it goes. But I'm going with the Lions. The next game, the 49ers travel to Jacksonville to play the Jags. I think the Niners get the win. And I think it's going to be close. I think it will be. I think it'll probably be a low-scoring affair, probably, but I do have the Niners winning by 3. The Niners have been underachieving this year, which bothers me. I don't like that because a lot of the situations, these fans are so delusional. I mean, look, I'll tell you this right now. Vikings fans, I don't want to call them delusional, but there's something. There's something, and it's they swear they're like diet Cowboys fans. Swear to God, they're diet Cowboys fans, right? And it's because every single year, this is our year. Then they lose, and then it doesn't matter. It's always, it didn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not fair. We can't. It's always that. Then they win, and then they're good. Then if they're lucky to make the playoffs, it's this whole thing. Look, if you want to call them delusional, I don't mind, but I'm telling you right now, they're special. They are special. Quick question: why do Rams get so many passes? Packers lose once, and they're automatically overrated. So let me tell you why the Rams got for me, I didn't give them a pass. I'm still holding them responsible for the loss. I'm just not going to slaughter them because every team is due a bad game, right? And I think that was their bad game. And I just think it was the perfect storm, right? Like your Robert Woods is down, so now you're really Cooper Kupp or bust. Odell still doesn't have a legit role, so you're trying to incorporate him. So I just think all that happened. And they also really came in thinking it was going to be cake against the Niners, and the Niners was up for that game. Like, you know what I mean? They were up. They were ready to fight. Now, I'm not saying that they deserve a pass on it. We should kill them for it. Well, I'm not going to say kill them. You should, criticize them, but I'm not going to say kill them. They are on their bye week. I want to see how they come out after their bye week. And they take another L, is going to start looking real dicey for them. And the Packers lose once and they're automatically overrated. My whole thing with the Packers is this whole thing, the only time I really think the Packers are overrated is when you start saying they can beat the Cardinals or they can beat Tampa. That's where I'm like, we got to pump the brakes. Like, I don't think they can. I think at best, this is the third best team in the NFC. That's just me, right? But I will say this. I have seen people claim that, the Packers lost and, they're all of a sudden now there's dog shit franchise that's horrible and, they're not even going to make the NFC Championship. I'm like, hold on, let's pump the brakes. Like, let's see how their road looks and go from there. Because, if they don't have a cake road and then they meet either the Bucks or the Cardinals or maybe the Rams in the NFC Championship, that's one thing. But, I mean, I'm not a fan saying that they're overrated. I don't think they're overrated. They do have problems. But to say that they're overrated, I mean, again, for me personally, the only way I'm calling them overrated is if you're saying they're making it to the Super Bowl. And even then, you know what I mean? Like, that's not even a reach. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you really sit down and think about it, if they make the NFC Championship, they still have a shot to make the Super Bowl. Rio says, for example, if the Packers beat the Rams, what's your assessment on the Rams? I want to see how it is. Like, if it's a shootout, then you can make the case and say, you know what? It really came down to who got at the end. If the Packers come out and they obliterate the Rams, that's gonna have to factor in, that's how I look at it. If the Rams lose and it's just like a one-score game, you can go, you know what? Maybe the Packers was on one. But if the Packers come out and just punch them in their mouth, and Matthew Stafford looks horrible, Cooper Kupp looks like a rookie, and people even forgot OBJ stepped on the field, and then defensively, if you thought Aaron Donald retired, and you're rubbing your eyes, and all of a sudden, Jalen Ramsey just looks like some guy that is elevated off the practice squad, and Von Miller's age starts to show. If it's like that, then we're going to have a sit down and have a conversation about the Rams. We're going to have to sit down and have a real heart-to-heart because their defense hasn't been playing great. Their defense has been, it's been underachieving. So if that were to happen, if the Packers destroy them, that's a conversation we're going to need to have. We're going to have to sit down and talk and say, you know what? And I posed the question before. After this loss, is it possible that we're overrating the Rams just a little bit, because we want them to succeed? That might be a possibility. But as of right now, we know. But I will tell you, if they lose, and it's not even the Rams, if they get punched in their mouth by Tampa, I think they did lose to the Cardinals. I believe, yeah, they lost to the Cardinals. And when they lost to the Cardinals, I kind of was just like, oof, you kind of got to keep that loss in the back of your head. But at the same time, we're in this weird spot where we can't really hold the regular season too much. Because remember, last year, the Saints handled their business. If I'm not mistaken, they played Tampa twice and beat Tampa both times. Then the playoffs happened. You know what I mean? So maybe, but I will say this, Rio. If the Packers punch them in their face, we at the bare minimum need to have a conversation about the Rams and have an honest heart-to-heart because we're going to have to figure something out. But, yeah, for that game, I got the Niners. This one, Texans at Titans, that one's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, look, Texans, we already know. It's going to be the Titans. The Titans better win by at least 2 possessions. That's all I got to say about that. But then we're talking about your team, Rio, the Packers versus the Vikings. Now, Aaron Rodgers is playing. He's on the field. He gonna handle his business. I got the Packers. Look, like I said, I think the Packers are the third best team in the NFC. I really believe it. I like them a lot. The Vikings, my problem with the Vikings, who are we gonna get? What Vikings team are we gonna get? Are we gonna get MVP Kirk Cousins? or are we gonna get the dude who just wants to collect stats in garbage time? What defense are we gonna get? Are we gonna get a solid defense? Are we gonna see the defense we saw against Dallas that Cooper Kupp threw for over 300 yards? Like, I don't know what we're gonna get with the Vikings, and I'm more confident in what I'm gonna get from the Packers. So I'm kind of with them. And real, you said y'all gonna destroy them. I think y'all can. I think y'all can. I mean, it's in Minnesota, but it's not like that's really gonna matter. It's not you know what I mean? Like, the Packers aren't a warm weather team. They're in Wisconsin, so that really won't matter. So, but yeah, I think it's the Packers. The last 1 o'clock game, Ravens and Browns. Oh, I'm sorry, Ravens and Bears. Wow. So I don't know if anyone has heard, but Khalil Mack is out for the rest of the year. They put him on Chicago put him on the IR. He's gonna get season-ending foot surgery. Even with Khalil Mack, I didn't give the Browns that much of a chance. You said my top 5 in the NFC. I'll put in the NFC. I'll put the Packers in there. I'll keep the Cardinals in there. I'll keep the Rams in there. Tampa Bay's got to be in there. They got to be in there. Like, we kind of got to keep them in there. And the NFC, what am I missing from the NFC? I said the Cardinals, the Packers, Rams. Who am I missing? I feel like I'm missing someone. Is that Cowboys? And the answer, sure. You can throw them in there. I mean, like I said, me personally, I think the NFC is in this weird spot where it's really the top 3, and then 4 and 5, it's kind of like they're just there to fill in the holes. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, like I said, it's Cardinals, Packers, and Tampa. Tampa's the one I was forgetting. Tampa, yes, because I'm talking about my original 4. Tampa, I can't believe I forgot about them. But Tampa, and then you can put Dallas in there. You can put Dallas at 5. But for me, the NFC right now, I think it's a 3-man race. I really do. And even then, like you said real earlier, if the Rams get stomped by a legit contender, we're gonna have to have a conversation about them. So for all I know, that might end up bumping them out, and then we might have to have a whole new team in the top 5. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that'll be my top 5. Like I said, at 5, 4 and 5. I mean, and I got the Rams at 5. And look, I want to love the Rams, I really do, but I have a gut feeling we low-key crowned them just a little bit too early. So that's really how I feel about them. But yeah, I got the Ravens over the Bears. Lamar's gonna have to prove a point. He's gonna have to. If I'm Lamar Jackson, this is the game. I'm petty. I'm petty. When I say I'm petty, I mean it. I'm petty. See, this right here, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. And when we talk about that, we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But if I'm Lamar Jackson, I'm petty. I'm not rushing the ball one time. I'm not rushing the ball one time. I'm throwing the ball 50+ times. If Coach Harbaugh gets mad at me, I'm telling him, look, Coach, I respect you. All due respect, look my balls from the back. I'm flinging it. And I'm flinging this ball like a mess, bro. I'm going to be petty. I'm flinging up a storm, bro. Like I said, I'm throwing 50+ times. I'm out here trying to shadow the most yards thrown in the game. Like that's what I'm going to do if I'm Lamar. I'm going to be petty. This Bears defense, hasn't really been the best. Obviously, Khalil Mack has been their best guy. Now with him out, they really have no shot. But the Bears right now, if I'm the Bears, I don't worry about wins. I'm talking about the roster. I don't worry about wins, right? I just worry about getting the continuity of this team together, making sure we, put enough faith in Justin Fields. And right after that, get Matt Nagy, the double fuck up out of here. You didn't get that many fuck up out of here. And whoever else wants to pick him up, hey, yo, your problem, not mine. But the Bears desperately need to get rid of Matt Nagy. This has been a sentiment that everyone has been saying for a while now. And the fact that he still has a job gives me hope. I say this joke all the time. If Matt Nagy is still in the league, no problem, I could be a coach. And my play card is going to have all the plays from Madden 22. That's it. They're going to be like, yo, coach, what are we doing? You guys ever heard of the play Dagger? They're like, what? Yeah, a deep attack on 3. It's like that's going to be – and Matt Nagy's play calling has been absolutely horrendous, very questionable at best. He kind of does the same thing that Joe Judge and of the Giants does. When you're supposed to be aggressive, you coach tentative, and when you're supposed to be tentative, you coach aggressive. Like it's this wild thing where they live. He lives in bizarre world, and it's crazy because when even then he somehow messes up the play calls even worse because when he's supposed to be play tentative, he does this weird thing where he picks the one tentative play that everyone knows is not going to work. He's definitely a weird ball, but for all those things, I got the Ravens up top. Now the 4:00 games. It's going to be the Bengals at Raiders, which is going to be a good one. Cardinals at Seahawks. I'm going to like that one. And then Cowboys visiting Kansas City to play the Kansas City Chiefs. So Bengals, this is a close one. I got the Bengals. I think this is going to be the game that Jamar Chase just gets fed up with everybody and just him and Joe Burrow. Look, everyone's been saying Joe Burrow doesn't throws the ball too much. I'm one of those people. I like Joe Burrow, but I think when you have a running back like Joe Mixon, I understand the injury history, but you still got to utilize him. He is still a very important, very premier back in this league, and you need to utilize him somehow. You know, kind of like what we say about Buffalo, right? You throwing the ball is cute and all, but at the same time, when you're close to the goal line and you're throwing the ball, you're not setting yourself up for failure. You need to be able to run it. But I think Jamar Chase is going to have 2 touchdowns, probably 100+ yards, receiving yards. Joe Burrow's going to do his thing, and I think Joe Mixon is going to get more touches. He's going to get more involved in this offense. No disrespect to the Raiders, but at this point, I'm very high on the Bengals. The next game, the Cardinals are playing at the Seahawks. I got Cardinals, but this better be a banger. I'm saying this right now. This is what I genuinely believe this. If the Seahawks lose this game, it's the beginning of the end of the Russell Wilson era in Seattle. It's already been on thin ice. It's already been on thin ice where stuff is starting to crack and whatnot. And I think if they lose here, at that point, Russ is going to be like, what the fuck am I doing here? What am I doing? This is ridiculous. I don't want to play this anymore. I don't want to be here. And at this point, remember, him and his wife Sarah, they're already looking for a reason to leave. You know, they're already looking for a reason. He's been trying to tell the organization, bro, this is what I need, this is what I need, this is what I need. They're not listening to him. So he's probably gonna dip. Now, Cowboys at Chiefs. I got the Chiefs, believe it or not, and I got it easy. I got the Chiefs handling business. The Kansas City Chiefs defense has been playing better. And here's the thing about the Chiefs defense. You don't have to be a top 5 defense in the league. You don't have to be. No, you don't have to be. You just got to be opportunistic. You just have to do just enough. That's really it. A lot of people, and I'll be honest with you, I don't care about the Dallas side of that. I don't care about Dallas. I really don't. I'm more interested in the Chiefs. The defense has been turning in the right direction. And here's the question. Has the defense been is it because they've been playing bad, bad offenses? Or is this defense starting to click and figure it out? I think this is the game we find out whether or not that, they're legit. And you think Patty Holmes, Rio says, I think Patty Holmes makes a statement this game. He needs to. He needs to, because a lot of people have been thinking, have we crowned this kid too early? Because a lot of people, are overly in love with him. And now a lot of people are asking, did we crown this kid too early? Patrick Mahomes, he's going to need 4+ touchdowns. Now, this offense is high-powered. This is a very high-powered offense. So asking them to give you between 4 to 6 touchdowns, that's not, you're not asking too much. Because this offense is extremely high-powered. The problem, herein lies the Chiefs' defense. Like I said, they've been trending in the right direction. Now, here's the question. is them trending. Was it legit or just a fraud? This is where we see it. And again, the Chiefs don't have to be a top 5 defense. They just got to be like between like top 17. Give them top 17. And they go between 17 and 15. They'll be the Chiefs in like the Chiefs entirety. They'll be fine. You know, they will be fine. This is what I wish was the 8 o'clock game, but we're stuck with Steelers and Chargers as the 8 o'clock game on Sunday. They did crown him way too early. In my opinion, he's held to a crazy standard. He is, and this is why I don't, because a lot of people get mad when I say this. Patrick Mahomes is the only quarterback in the NFL right now who gets held at a high, well, maybe even Aaron Rodgers. Those two get held to a very high standard. Then when they don't meet those standards, it's okay. Like when we put standards on Russell Wilson, he doesn't make it. We slaughter him. Ryan Tannehill, Tom Brady, even Deshaun Watson before he, did what he allegedly was accused of. Him, Peyton Manning. If we want to go to all-time greats, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Dan Marino, Joe Montana. To my knowledge, I've never. They're the only 2 quarterbacks I know who you put the bar up here. They get to here, but it's okay. I don't get it. I've always said, look, man, we're pushing Mahomes too much, and I've said this, and I've been consistent with this. Patrick Mahomes does not know how to read defenses, and he's relying on his freakish ability to get him out of it. And I've said, eventually, when the defenses understand and start to game plan him, especially with the 2 high safeties, he's gonna get exposed, and that's what's been happening. Now, he's learning to read the defense, and now he's trending back on that path that people wanted him to be on. But I've always said I'd rather crown a guy too late than too early. That's just me. I would rather this year still be calling him overrated, let him adjust, then afterwards apologize, and then be like, you know what, he got it, he adjusted, whatever. Rather than be screaming he's the best thing since sliced bread, and then give him excuse after excuse after excuse for why he's failing. And again, he will adjust. He will. He has to. He has no choice but to adjust. The Chiefs are all in on him, so he owes it to the franchise that frankly adores they adore him. Patrick Mahomes right now can go shoot somebody up, and the franchise will be like, "Oh, silly guy!" Like they're head over heels with him. Steelers, Chargers. I got Chargers. At this point, I don't even think that one's even that difficult. I don't think Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons. Okay. Let me pump the brakes because Pride is on one. Pride might be drunk. Ben Roethlisberger. There we go. That's the name I'm looking for. Jesus Christ. I think Big Ben Roethlisberger. I don't think he's playing. Which opens the floor, opens the field, opens the playbook to that phenomenal guy, Mason Rudolph. I just hope he throws the ball 50 more times. Let him have another game throwing 50 plus times. I said this against the Lions. There's no way on God's green earth talk to him. By the way, for those of you who can't see, the comment says, like, man, they're putting a 26-year-old guy, referring to Patrick Mahomes, in GOAT conversations. I've been screaming that for a while now. Been screaming. But at this point, man, Najee Harris should be leading them. In no way, no how they should even be thinking in any way, shape, or form of having Mason Rudolph throw for more than Najee Harris has rushes. That's absurd. 100% that's absurd. I don't like that. excuse me, I don't like that. I don't respect that. I'm not a fan of that. And at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I got the Steelers. They better, like I said, they better not in any way, shape, or form even remotely think it's going to be cute, it's going to be adorable, and it's going to be fun if they're letting Mason Rudolph throw the ball 50 plus times. I'll be honest, he shouldn't be getting 25 throws. He shouldn't even be getting 20 throws. Look, honestly, I'll be honest, man, 15 to 20 is probably like where he should be at. They should be running. Here's the problem with that. All right, so let's talk about it. Oh, by the way, for those of you who can't hear, Rio said they need a better backup plan than Rudolph. I'm going to tell you something. They will never find a better backup plan than Mason Rudolph. Do you want to know why? There's this insane belief they have in this kid. This kid, his highlight reel, the intro and outro, is Myles Garrett hitting him in the head with his own helmet. There is also, in between that intro and outro, there is a 5-second picture in the middle of it that shows his head with a dent where the helmet hit him. You're not winning with him. That's all it really comes down to. You're not winning with him. Rio also said feed Najee. That's the only way they even have a chance in winning this game. Najee Harris needs to feed. And I'm not just saying that because I have him on my fantasy. Like, they desperately need Najee Harris to. He needs way more touches than Mason Rudolph has throws, and that's just fact. Rudolph always getting banged up. He is. Rudolph is a weirdo. He starts the problems, and when someone says something to him, looks at the ref. Like, it's ridiculous. Then Monday night, Giants Buccaneers. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I got the Buccaneers. I'll tell y'all this right now. Just like I said last week about Washington football team. Don't sleep on them. I understand Tom Brady gonna be mad. I get it. He gonna be mad. But the Giants and Tom have a history. I'm just throwing that out there. This is gonna be one of two ways. Either the Giants win a nail biter, or you know what? I'm with you, Rio. Rio said it won't be a blowout. I'm with you, Rio. I'm with you. I think defensively, I like this Giants team. It's just the play calling that perplexes me. Like I said earlier about Joe Judge and Matt Nagy. When they're supposed to be tentative, they coach aggressive, and when they coach aggressive, they're supposed to coach aggressive. They coach tentatively. At some point, you're gonna have to see what you got in Daniel Jones, and the only way is if you open up that playbook for the kid. That's the only way you'll be able to figure out whether or not Daniel Jones is gonna be your answer or not. The only way you'll be able to be comfortable with him is if you open the playbook and said, "All right, kid, go make some plays, and let's see what happens." That's the only way you'll be able to figure out. Now, for some reason, they don't want to do that. They don't want it. Why? The world may never know. But I'm telling you, man, it's to the point, man. Like I said, I got Tom Brady, obviously, because, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady, not senior, because that's the father, junior. He'll handle his business, but like I said, it's not. I don't think it'll be a blowout. This is a team that always somehow finds a way to get inside of Tom Brady's head. Not only just his head, because he actually performed. I don't want to say that. And in Tom Brady-led team, they somehow always find a way to get in there. So I got Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting the win. Like I said, I usually, when I make the picks, I stick with it. This is the first time I've changed. And I'm saying this publicly. If the Lions win on Monday, I'm acting a fool. I'm being honest. I'm acting a fool. Do you think Ben Simmons is headed to the Motor City? So I've been hearing about that. They're thinking about trading Ben Simmons to get Jeremy Grant They're also gonna, to make everything match out evenly. Detroit is thinking about throwing some picks in there, and possibly one other player. No, I don't think this trade is gonna happen. I don't think so. The only reason I don't think so, as much as I like Jeremy Grant, as much as I like him in that Sixers offense, he's not going to get the touches he's getting in Detroit. I don't see it. And again, I could be wrong. I can be, and he ends up going. You know what I mean? But the problem I have with Jeremy Grant is that a lot of the touches he's getting is because he's on a bad team, and it's because they don't really have any other options. Like for instance, right now, let me pull up his stats so that way we all have the same information we're working with. So the highlighted yellow, those are his stats this year, 13 games in. Just put this down. So these are his stats, 13 games in, 18 points per game, not bad. Shooting 30%. Now this is the problem. In order to get those 18 points, it's taking him about 15 shots to get it. He's shooting 40% from the floor and 30% from the 3-point line. So in terms of him fitting, and again, he's a forward, right? So whose minutes is he going to cut into? Because when healthy, it's going to be Joel Embiid at the 1. At the 2, I'm doing in order of scoring options. It's going to be Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris. Maxi's going to have to be in there too because he's been balling like crazy. So he's going to need to get some touches. Seth Curry, who right now is the only player right now who's in the 50-40-90 club. That's 50% from the floor, 40% from 3, and at least 90% from the free throw line. He's the only player in the MLB and the NBA with that stat line. So, and listen, if I'm Detroit, I'm saying bye-bye to Grant Hayes and Dalio for bet 100%. Look, for Detroit's sake, I would. For Detroit's sake, I would. But I will say this. In terms of the Sixers, that's something they're going to have to take. At this point, are you taking Steph over KD? I'm going to say this right now. No. But going with KD by this much. This much. Barely. As an individual player, I'm going to take KD right now. However, that being said, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe Kevin Durant still leads. I think he still is a little over him in terms of scoring and also efficiency. But I will say this. If you come and tell me you're taking Steph right now over KD, I'm not mad at you. Not mad at you one bit. Not mad, because to me, you can't go wrong with either or. In my opinion, you can't. A lot of people are real. And this is a good question. A lot of people are now asking, legitimately, Steph or KD. And I've been telling people, look, me, I got KD as the second best player. I still got LeBron as number 1. If he continues with the injury history, I'm going to have to knock him down. The only person you can replace him with right now is Kevin Durant. Steph Curry is currently trying to make an argument that I deserve to be in there. Steph Curry's making that argument. He's saying I deserve to be in there. And the way he's bowling, I'm telling you right now, I got him top 3. I have him top 3. I still got Braun. Then after that, I got Kevin Durant. And then I got Steph. Now, like I said, if a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, Braun's been too injured, we gotta take him out." That's fine. If you want to take him out, then I got KD at 1 and Steph at 2. And honestly, if we're gonna take Braun out of the top 5, then me personally, I think it's KD at 1 and Steph at 2, which is close. And then there's a massive gap between 2 and 3. I think that's how it is. I think it's how it's been with LeBron for the past few years, where it was LeBron, then at number 2, then there was someone at number 2, no matter who you play, there's someone at number 2. And most recent years, it's been Kevin Durant. You put him at number 2, and everyone else is just desperately fighting for 3. And I think we're getting to that point now. You know, again, I still got Bron, but if you're saying the injuries, I'm not mad at you. If it's not LeBron James, it's Kevin Durant. And if you want to say Steph, I won't be mad at you for that. I really won't, because like I said, this kid is playing at he's doing stuff that I can't even dream of doing. And, eventually we're definitely going to have to put respect on this man's name one way or another. So, fighting, something I'm not good at, which is why I talk about it. However, some of the weight divisions in the UFC are kind of held down. They are locked down. So, I want to give you guys my take on some fighters who should consider moving weight classes to potentially find some success in getting championship gold, right? So, we got the flyweight champion, and obviously on the bottom of the screen you will see this, but I will say it out loud for those of you who are just listening. At flyweight, champion is Brandon Moreno. At bantamweight, Aljamain Sterling, which is a joke, and I'll say this before and I said it again. Aljamain Sterling, I hope and pray. Oh, and by the way, they are on the verge of firing Luke Walton. The comment says Kings are on the verge of firing Luke Walton. I will say this, and I will say this now. If the Kings fire Luke Walton, you're an idiot. There's no coach. Greg Popovich, I believe right now, is the best coach in the NBA. And then not only, there's no way Greg Popovich is going to go in there, turn this team around in a couple years. So ain't no way, no how. If they fire him, yeah, they're just mad at themselves. Now, flyweight. Brandon Moreno is the champion. Bantamweight, Aljamain Sterling, like I said, is a joke. I hope he trips, falls down, and then while he's falling, someone spits on him. I'm going to go on my Aljamain rant in just a moment here. Featherweight, excuse my French, that fucking savage, Alexander Volkanovski. At lightweight, Charles Oliveira. Welterweight, that is my guy who definitely deserves to be pound for pound ranked number 1, which he currently is. Thank God, Kamaru Usman. At middleweight, Israel Adesanya. Light heavyweight, that old fuck Glover Teixeira, my fucking hero. This is, I'm telling you, because of how old he is, this is this generation's fucking Randy Couture. Old as shit, and he came back and got the fucking belt. This is who he is. He is this generation's Hispanic goddamn Randy Couture. Love this guy. And then the light heavyweight the heavyweight champion himself, the man who could knock me out just by looking, Francis Ngannou. And for the women's strawweight, Rose Namajunas, women's flyweight, Valentina Shevchenko, and then the women's bantamweight and featherweight champion, the GOAT, Amanda Nunes. So let's start. By the way, in terms of the women, the women's division, I'm just gonna say this right quick. I'm telling y'all, do not talk to Valentina Shevchenko. Do not talk to Amanda Nunes. Proceed very cautiously with Rose Namajunas. I think at this point, we're gonna see these champions forever. Like I think we're gonna see him forever. I think the one who could possibly lose it is Rose Namajunas, but even then, I think it's gonna be a reach. So in terms of the women, the women's divisions, excuse my friend, y'all fucked. Yeah, what? Forget moving weight divisions. Y'all gonna have to move promotions. Go to Bellator. Go to Pride. Dude, y'all gonna have to figure something out. Go to boxing. I don't know. PFL. Go do something, man. Because Thug Rose, the GOAT Amanda Nunes, and the lady Valentina Shevchenko, who I say this jokingly. Well, I said it jokingly, but now I mean it. I'm pretty sure she killed someone. I'm pretty sure Valentina Shevchenko has taken a life. Pretty sure. Now, I'm not going to, if I were to ever meet her in real life, of course I would not ask that. Because I feel like that's something, if you ask her, she will kill you. But in terms of the women's division, you are, as the children say in the streets, fucked, right? Now, Rio says Figgy should move up. If Figgy loses to Brandon Moreno, yes, he should. I do think he needs to move up. I do. I want to see how the whole thing will be. I think he wins the trilogy against Brandon Moreno. But if Figgy loses, he definitely got to move up. Rakic is going to destroy Blachowicz. I will tell you this. I'm going to put it this way. Alexander Rakic is a guy who he's a savage, right? But he was born in the wrong time. Why I say that is because I like him. Does he beat Jan Blachowicz? Maybe. I mean, Jan Blachowicz is kind of old too, though. If we gonna be honest, I mean, we were talking about, Glover Teixeira being, I think he's like 42. We're gonna be honest now. I think this man, Blachowicz, I think he's like 40. So he's not that much. Blachowicz is on the way out. The old man broke him. I love Blachowicz, but I think that's 100% right. I'll be honest with you. I think the pressure of being the champion got to Blachowicz, and Glover Teixeira was at the right place at the right time. I thought it was a quick tap, but then when they actually showed a different angle, Glover Teixeira had that thing tight. My only question was, why did Jan Blachowicz kind of straighten out and let Glover Teixeira get to his back, knowing that that's what Glover Teixeira wanted to do? That's my only question. Rio said facts. Jan is old. He is. He definitely is. But flyweight. Rio, you already said it. I think if Davidson Figueiredo loses to Brandon Moreno, he needs to move up. 100%. Bantamweight. Aljamain Sterling needs to drop out of the entire MMA scene. The guy is a joke. He is a pathetic waste of space. I'm losing so much respect for the bantamweight title because of him. It's becoming a joke because I'll be honest, on his best day, I don't think he's beating Jose Aldo, who's ranked 5th. I don't know if he's beating Rob Font, who's 4th. He's not beating Corey Sandhagen, who's 3rd. He is not beating TJ Dillashaw, who's 2nd. And again, he is not beating Petr Yan, who's the interim champion right now. And I'm gonna put it to you this way: if I'm Dana White, I'm punishing this kid. Here's what I'm doing. Sterling, you're fighting Petr Yan, right? After that, after Petr Yan finally just puts pause on him, we're hitting up TJ Dillashaw. Yo, TJ, do me a favor. I'll make you a deal. If you do me this favor, you get a title shot next, right? I want you to beat the bricks off of Aljamain Sterling, right? However, I want him juiced to the fucking gills. I want this man to eat, drink, inject. I want him to fuck EPOs. I want this man so drugged up. I want this guy to be like John Jones in goddamn Vegas. I want this guy completely. 50% of his being is drugs. I want him to fucking obliterate Aljamain Sterling. Then after that, I want Corey Sandhagen to destroy him. I want Rob Font to put him to sleep, and I want Jose Aldo to break his arm. After that, if I'm Dana White, I'm sitting Aljamain Sterling in my office. You still want to be here? No? Get out. I'm sick and tired of Aljamain Sterling. He's a joke to me. Rio said Jan versus TJ is my dream fight. It is the fight no one knew we wanted. It is the fight no one thought would happen. We're in 2021. God bless 2021 in terms of fight scene, because the world is fucked. But in terms of fighting, and it's crazy because I'll be honest with you, if Sterling goes, ow, I hurt my neck again, and he goes, oh, I can't fight, even though I spent my entire career fighting with the same injury and decided not to have surgery until I ended up winning the title of Chief Shot. But no, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to say that. If Aljamain Sterling refuses to fight, my thing is, you strip him and have Petr Yan have a not really a unification, but kind of just like you take the belt from Petr Yan, and after that, you know, uh, Petr Yan, have Petr Yan fight either Dillashaw. I think he got to fight Dillashaw. If Aljamain Sterling doesn't fight, I think the fight to make would be Yan and Dillashaw for the title. Do you call Max a duck if he fights Conor in April? I'm assuming you mean Max Holloway. I'm assuming, right? Because yeah, it would be in which, unless you're talking about Michael Chandler. I don't know if you actually said Max, you meant Mike. Let me know who you're talking about, because I'm low-key a little confused. Let me know who you're talking about. If it's Max Holloway, just say yeah. If it's Max Holloway, just say Max. If it's Michael Chandler, just say Mike. But featherweight, I think the entire division needs to move. Max Holloway. If I'm Max, that's the thing about Max Holloway. I don't know if he can. I think he's high-key stuck. Because I don't know if he can make bantamweight, but lightweight is so much of a leap that it might screw him. Do you call Holloway a duck if he fights Conor? Okay. I don't want to call him that, but you would almost have to. You would almost have to. Now, I will say this. I don't think Max Holloway ducks him. I don't think Max Holloway takes the Conor fight until after he fights Volkanovski. I genuinely don't believe that. But to answer your question, if Max Holloway fights Conor, either that or the route you can also take is he just wants that ching. If he wants that ching, sure. Max doesn't struggle to make 145. He's asked about it in his history. He just says he has to diet. He's a small guy. Well, if he doesn't struggle to make 145, then I mean, throw him in there. But problem with that though, we got yeah, that's a problem though, because we just said Figgy. That all depends if he loses to Moreno. Yeah, have him go 145. I wouldn't be mad about that. Have him dip. Fuck it. And again, Max Holloway is in the same boat as Figgy. If Figgy loses to Moreno, he needs to move divisions. And if Max Holloway loses to Volkanovski, he needs to move divisions. That's something that's something to consideration. Also, Brian Ortega. I just speak to Brian Ortega, bro. You're not that guy. In featherweight right now. I don't want to disrespect him. I don't want to make him like he's a scrub or anything like that. I don't want to. But as of right now, there's only really three guys who can really win the two, who kind of keep being in there in title contenders: Alexander Volkanovski, Max Holloway, and Brian Ortega. And of the three of them, Ortega would be the third. So he might have to consider it. At lightweight, this right here, this what I'm going to say. A lot of people are going to say, "Huh." They're going to question me. Michael Chandler should consider moving weight. And when I say that, he's too short for welterweight. So he might have to cut weight and dip up here and see if he can try a hand at featherweight against Volkanovski. Can he make it? Potentially. Maybe. I don't know. But Chandler right now in lightweight has unfortunately been struggling. Just lost to Justin Gaethje. His next fight is probably going to be against Islam Makhachev. And if it's not Islam, it's going to be Beneil Dariush. If he loses, he needs to go. He needs to say, you know what? It is what it is. Let me get out of here. He's going to have to. He's gonna have to. In my opinion, I think he's gonna need to. And again, I'm gonna say this: if he makes the weight, look me in my face and tell me Michael Chandler versus Alexander Volkanovski does not tickle you in a good way. By the way, LeBron James, it's official. He's gonna play tonight on Friday, which I knew he was once it's at 50-50. I knew he was going to. Great. I gotta watch. How is John Jones 6? Can we instead? I'm done. I'm not. I'm no. I'm not falling for the trap. I'm not falling for the trap, Dana White. But yeah. Michael Chandler, I think he needs to cut weight. Chill, bro. I barely make 155. Yo, he be, but yo, real. But here, okay. So the comment said, "Chill, Mike can barely make 155," and I know he can barely make 155. But like, where else can he go? Like, we're gonna have to make this man, guys. We're gonna basically, he's not eating no more. His straight fluids. He gonna have to go on a fluid diet. Because at this, look, man, either that or where else can he go? If he ends up losing, look, he's done, because there are a lot of young guys coming up, like the lightweight division. And if he loses, where does he go? And look, and yeah, he struggles at 155. But what, you're telling me he's already short at lightweight? At lightweight, he's already short, right? So what? You're onto something. You might be onto something. You might be onto something. Rio basically said, let's petition for the 165 weight class. I just want to make sure. Let me make sure. I want to make sure of something. Okay. So these are the official weight classes. Right? So, okay. The lightweight 125, 135, 145, 165, or 155. Should we do a 165? You know what? No, fuck him. Nope, fuck him. Nope. Michael Chandler, figure it out. Figure it out, Michael Chandler. You gotta figure it out. Because I'm looking at this, right? So it is true. Michael Chandler's on the cusp of death, making his original 155, right? And here's the thing, going up to 170. You know what I would do? You know what I would do? Maybe this is a consideration. Nope, that wouldn't even matter. Because each weight class is 15. Oh no, it's 10. Fuck it, let's drop welterweight to 165. Yeah, let's drop. Matter of fact, Rio, we gonna talk about this more in depth later. We gonna talk more in depth, because to be honest, when you say that, that's not as crazy as it sounds. Not that crazy. But yeah, Michael Chandler gotta go. He gotta go. Or Darush has been inactive for a little bit. If he feels like the UFC don't like him, maybe he could drop weight. For welterweight, Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington, move up the weight. Dana White never lets us have fun. Sometimes he'll give us fun, but he doesn't let us have fun. Welterweight, Colby Covington, I think he should move up to middleweight. I believe. I think he should move up to middleweight, especially considering that Adesanya kind of has the whole division on lock. Just put him up there. Let's see what he can do. It gives not only a fresh face in the division, but a fresh face in the title picture. Moving on to middleweight, and it would be, and that's what I'm thinking. Like, for a welterweight, I think we should knock it. I think we should just put it at 165. I think we should, because those 5 pounds, and on top of that, since it's 5 pounds, you can, the guys who are welterweight can technically already they only got to shed 5 more pounds, and they can kind of blow up to try to get those. So, I mean, yeah. But look, there's some guys that are kind of stuck in purgatory, where they constantly just can't make weight. And God bless them. But yeah, middleweight, I think there's two things. Marvin Vettori, no, not Marvin Vettori, Robert Whitaker, if possible. If he can't win, I'd like to see him in light heavyweight. I think Robert Whitaker would be, and same with Marvin Vettori. I think both of them at light heavyweight. Because if you think about it, a lot of the top guys are older. Borcheshera, old. Jan Blachowicz, old. Anthony Smith, he's getting up there. Thiago Santos is 40. Then when you start looking at between 6 and 15, it's like Dominic Reyes. I mean, he's solid, but he's unfortunately not that guy. Same with Volkan. I like Nikita. Johnny Walker, same thing. And that's the rumor. Supposedly, after the whole Marvin Vettori and Paulo Costa situation, Dana White was like, yeah, you're fighting at light heavyweight whether you like it or not. So his next, even though on a technicality, his fight against Marvin Vettori was his light heavyweight debut because that's what the weight was at. Supposedly, his next fight is going to be against a legitimate lightweight. Anklov is going to hurt Thiago Santos badly next year. Look, Thiago Santos is at this point where one more loss and we're looking at him like we look at Tony Ferguson. He does not have that much time left on the clock. I think he beats Magomed. I think he beats him. But to me personally, I think it's going to be close. This is one I'm not betting on. I don't like it. In terms of light heavyweight, I want to see Johnny Walker in middleweight. I want to see how Johnny Walker can handle that. I think he'll be able to cut that weight. Him at middleweight, that little awkward style he has, I think that matches up nice with Israel Adesanya. And at heavyweight, here's the thing. At light heavyweight, I don't know if anyone can really move. If we're gonna be honest. I don't think anybody can really move. I mean, the only guy who could really move would be Cyril Gane. I think Cyril Gane, and it's because of his fight style and what he brings, it'll be easier for him to cut weight. But even then, I low-key think that might be a little bit of a reach. You want to see Dan Hooker versus Tony Ferguson. I'm going to tell you this right now. Tony Ferguson is in this thing of in his career where, unfortunately, no matter how much we want to admit it, no matter how much we feel that it's not true, Tony Ferguson just isn't that guy anymore. Let's say he fights Dan Hooker and wins. I don't think it matters. I'm talking about in terms of like actual ranking and like climbing up the ladder again. Now, in terms of it as it being a standalone fight, I think it got potential. I really do. I think it has a potential. However, Tony Ferguson at this point of his career, I don't know if he's beating Michael Chandler. I don't know if he's beating Islam. He's not beating Justin Gaethje. He's not beating Dustin. He's not beating Charles. I mean, maybe Beneil Dariush, but even then, I can't even say that because he fought Beneil Dariush and lost. So it's like he's at 7. Everyone above him, unfortunately, right here, right now. But Sean Brady looks ready. Kirsten has a nice height, man. I want to see how Brady. So for those of you who don't know, Sean Brady, that is my guy, 110%. He shares the same nickname as the greatest quarterback to ever grace God's green earth. So by default, I'm on him. But here's what I'm gonna say: Sean Brady, in order for him to win, he just needs to do what he usually does. He understands he's short. He understands he doesn't have the reach advantage. He understands that, which is step 1. Step 1 is understanding it. Step 2 is now getting close. Because if you're a guy with a short reach advantage, the easiest way to counteract someone who's got a longer reach advantage, you gotta fight close. You gotta get in there. You can't. Because the thing is, when they throw a hook and they go like this, guess what? They're not losing power. They can't hit you clean. So now their arm length comes at a disadvantage. So Sean Brady is gonna have to go in there. He's gonna have it's gonna be a gritty fight. I still got him. I think Chiesa grinds his way to a decision, but this will be a huge experience for Brady. He'll become much better for 100%. 100%. He will be. And like I said, if he loses, because right now he's ranked 14th. If he loses, he should not be unranked. If you want to put him at 15, fine. He should not be unranked. But I'm saying this: if he wins, we're going fucking sizzling. I'm telling you right now, he beats Michael Chiesa. Brady's 6th. Me and Brady, we gonna take Michael Chiesa's ranking. That's what we gonna do. We gonna take it. 100%. We gonna take it. Yeah. Because the thing is, 14th, and you're being a guy right outside the top 5, literally right outside at 6. If he wins, I want to see how the rankings look after that, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I like Cosma, but Sean Brady's gonna have to go over him. He's gonna have to go over him, and maybe that's the next fight. Maybe because Vicente Luque hasn't done anything. He's at 4. Maybe you want to give Sean Brady another test to see. Because the thing is, this whole with Kamaru Usman holding everything down, a lot of people are kind of they want a fresh face in there. And if Sean Brady beats Michael Chiesa, he's gonna be that fresh face that everybody desperately wants to see. But yeah, that's enough for your boy. Follow me on Twitter at Prideful Takes. I love arguing with people. It's like my favorite pastime. I love arguing with y'all. So if y'all got anything to say at me, feel free to tweet. If there's anything I want to see, tag me in it. I have no problem looking at it. Catch us on Facebook at Prideful Takes. Not only we put up memes, I put my pick'ems. I gotta start doing that with the NBA. And I go live on there. If you don't have a Facebook, that's fine. We're on YouTube at Prideful Takes. Visit the website, www.pridefultakes.com. Not only do we have every single episode of the podcast there, but we also have the written articles. And check us out on Spotify, at Apple Podcasts, Prideful Takes Podcast. I hope I entertained y'all. Rio, appreciate you keeping things active in the chat. I appreciate it. And like always, appreciate y'all spending some time with me. It's your boy Pride. See you on the next one.
Knew where that was going. That was a great read. Oh, Lillard from the logo. That'll quiet the
2 on the season. 2nd and 1 for the Bills. They handle the rush. Allen looking. End zone.
To Shohei Ohtani. Center field. Let's watch it go.
Did several of those inside low kicks.